Let's be real, choosing an internet provider can be, well, a little overwhelming, right? You're trying to compare speeds, prices, all these special offers. So today, we're going to cut through all that noise and zero in on one of the biggest players out there, Verizon Fios. We're going to break down exactly what they're offering for 2026, using info straight from their own materials to help you figure out what you're really getting.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to start with the technology itself. What actually makes Fios different? Then we'll dive into the nitty-gritty, the plans and the speeds they offer, how they actually get to that advertised price, and finally, we'll cover all the extras, from the equipment they give you to those really tempting sign-up bonuses. Let's jump in. Okay, first things first, let's get right to the heart of what Verizon says makes Fios so special. Their entire sales pitch really revolves around this one core idea, their 100% fiber optic network. But what does that actually mean for you when you're just trying to stream a movie?
So this slide gets right to the point. You can basically forget about the old copper wires that most cable internet still uses. Fiber optics, as you can see here, literally sends your data as pulses of light through super thin glass strands. According to Verizon, that's the secret sauce. It's what gives you a faster, much more reliable connection that runs directly into your home.
And this is where that fiber technology really starts to show off. This slide highlights a huge selling point. Symmetrical speeds. What that means is your upload speed is just as fast as your download speed. So for stuff like video calls, online gaming, or sending massive work files, it's a game changer. In fact, Verizon claims their top plans can upload stuff up to 23 times faster than similar plans from the big cable companies. That's a massive difference.
Okay, so we've got the tech down. Pretty cool. But how does that actually translate into the plans you can buy? This is where we get into the real details of the speeds and the prices that you're going to see plastered all over their ads.
So here they are, the 4 main plans Verizon is pushing right now. As you can see, they go from a solid 300 megabits per second all the way up to a wild 2 gigs. And you can see those symmetrical speeds we were just talking about. Oh, and check out the price lock guarantee. The more you pay, the longer they promise your price won't jump up. But the most important thing on this whole slide, it's that tiny little asterisk next to the price. Let's figure out what that's all about.
But hold on, before we decode that price, Verizon wants you to know that a bunch of key things are included no matter which plan you pick. They make a really big deal about including the router rental, having no data caps, and no annual contracts. It's all part of this all-in pricing promise they keep talking about.
All right, now for the crucial part. It's time to talk about that asterisk and figure out how Verizon gets to those really low prices you see advertised. This is where you usually have to read the fine print, but don't worry, we've done it for you. Let's break down exactly how these discounts work. The magic number, $35 a month. You see it everywhere, right? On TV, online. But here's the catch. Getting that price is not automatic. As we're about to see, it really depends on you stacking a couple of very specific discounts.
And here's exactly how the math works. The base rate for that 300 megabit plan is actually about $60. To get it down to the advertised price, you need 2 discounts. First, you got to knock off $10 for using autopay and going paperless. Second, and this is the big one, you need to get another $15 mobile plus home discount, which means you also have to have a qualifying Verizon mobile phone plan.
Now, to be fair, Verizon does promise that once you've jumped through all those hoops to get that low rate, that is the price you'll actually see on your bill. It's that all-in pricing thing again. It means no surprise taxes or random equipment fees getting tacked on later. The whole goal is to avoid that frustrating bill shock we've all experienced.
Now let's move on and look at what else is included in the Fios packages. We're talking about the actual hardware you get, plus all the optional add-ons they're really pushing right now. Okay, let's talk gear. As you can see, Verizon says every single customer gets a pretty modern Wi-Fi 6E router included with their plan. But if you decide to spring for the faster 1 gig or 2 gig plans, they also throw in a Wi-Fi extender. The whole idea there is to make sure that super fast speed can actually reach every corner of your house, from the attic to the basement.
Of course, Verizon isn't just selling you an internet connection. A huge part of their strategy, as you can see here, is bundling. They call them perks, and it's basically their way of letting you add popular streaming services directly to your Fios bill, hopefully at a discount.
And this chart gives us 2 really popular examples. You can get the big Disney bundle, that's Disney+, Hulu, and ESPN+, or you can grab the Netflix and Max bundle for flat $10 a month each. And of course, Verizon pitches this as a pretty significant savings compared to what you'd pay for them all separately.
And this is a nice little bonus for their top-tier customers.
If you're on one of their gig speed plans, Verizon says you get a $10 credit every month. What that really means is you get to pick one of these $10 perks, and it's essentially free. And finally, let's talk about the flashiest part of the whole deal, the sign-up bonuses. These are the limited-time, big-ticket items that Verizon is using right now to get new customers in the door.
But, it's not quite as simple as just signing up and getting a free TV delivered the next day. As this timeline shows, there's a process. You have to keep the service in good standing for about 65 days. And after that, you have a specific window of time where you need to go in and actively claim your bonus. So don't forget to do it.
And this is the main event. It doesn't matter which plan you choose, you get to pick one of these 3 bonuses. You can go for a brand new Samsung TV, a Samsung tablet, or you can just skip the gadgets altogether and take the cash savings, a discount that adds up to over $500 in the long run.
And on top of all that, there's one more layer, but this is only for people who sign up online. An Amazon gift card. As you can see, you get $100 for the lower tier plans, and that amount doubles to a cool $200 if you go for one of the super fast gig speed plans.
So after laying out Verizon's entire pitch, it all really boils down to a question for you. What do you actually value the most? Is it that pure, raw, symmetrical speed of fiber for things like gaming and working from home? Is it the peace of mind that comes with having your price locked in for years? Or maybe you're just swayed by the extra perks, like a free TV or bundled streaming services. As we've seen, there's a lot more to think about than just that one advertised price.